Welcome. In this playthrough of Marvel Champions the card game, I'll be trying Heroic Level 3 with Captain America and Spider-Man taking on KLAW with the Doomsday Chair and MODOK. Fantasy Flight Games has received some comments about making the game easier or more difficult. So they've created two new modes, Heroic Mode and Rookie Mode. So in Rookie Mode, what they've done is you're using standard mode rules with only one exception. When the first stage of a villain is defeated, the players win. And then with Heroic Mode, what they've done is it follows the Expert Mode rules with one exception. Before starting a game in Heroic Mode, the player group chooses a Heroic level number. This number determines the difficulty of that mode, with higher numbers presenting greater challenges. For the rest of the game, during Step 3 of each villain phase, each player is dealt X additional encounter cards, where X is equal to the chosen heroic level number. So if you've chosen heroic level 2, each player will be dealt a minimum of 3 encounter cards each villain phase, 1 from the normal phase setup, and then 2 from playing on heroic level 2. So to celebrate that mode, they've created an achievement. Not so sure it's achievable. Well, we're going to take a shot at it here shortly. We get to choose identities and aspects of our choice, but we need to defeat KLAW on Heroic Level 3 using the Doomsday Chair. So before we get to setup, I'll just say if you've been waiting to watch me get totally wrecked, you are going to really enjoy this video. So for Heroic Level 3, setup is just like Expert Mode. We've got KLAW 2 and 3 here ready. That's probably as much as we're going to see of KLAW 3 though. Schema 2, attack of 1 with the forced interrupt. When he attacks, give him an additional boost card for this activation. 18 health per player. And we're going to search the encounter deck and discard pile for the Immortal KLAW, reveal it, and shuffle the encounter deck. So the Immortal KLAW, so we're going to give him an additional 10 hit points, along with an acceleration token. And it starts with 6 threat on it. So he starts with 46 health. Then scheme 1A, for our main scheme, we're using 2 and 3 for expert mode. We've got the standard encounter set in play. And for the modular set, we've got MODOK. For setup, searching encounter deck for the defense network size scheme. And it's going to come in with an additional 1 threat per player here. So 2 plus another 2. And this prevents us from taking threat off of the main scheme. So we've got 4 on that to start with. Then we'll flip over. 6 threat per player. So 12 on here. We advance. When revealed, discard cards from the encounter deck until a minion is discarded. Put that minion into play, engage with the first player. So we will give our encounter deck one last shuffle. Then go looking for a minion to put in play with Steve Rogers. So far, we're just going through the deck, finding an armored guard. And he comes in with toughness. Just make sure no obligations were thrown in there. Nope, we're good, so they can stay discarded. So the villain is set up. Steve Rogers, you know good and well. Recovery of 3. Living Legend. Reduce the cost of the first ally played each round by 1. And setup, we'll search our deck and discard pile for a shield upgrade and add it to your hand and shuffle our deck. Hand size of 6, 11 hit points. On his hero side, 2 thwart, 2 attack, 2 defense. I can do this all day action. Discard 1 card from your hand to ready captain once per round and a hand size of 5. So we will shuffle his deck one last time and see what our starting hand is going to look like. Fearless Determination, an uppercut, our shield, which we know we can automatically discard. Agent 13. So we're starting with some ways to deal with threat. But I would like some resource generation, so we'll pitch these. So we're drawing 4 cards. Getting tag team uppercut, our helmet, and a shield block. Then, because of our setup ability, we'll go back and search for our shield and put that in our hand. And then for Peter Parker, recovery of 3, scientist, resource ability, generate a mental resource once per round, hand size of 6 and 10 hit points. Thwart of 1, attack of 2, defense of 3. Spider sense interrupt. When the villain initiates an attack against you, we'll draw a card and a hand size of 5 on this side. So one last shuffle. And draw 6 cards. See what we've got to start working with. Swinging web kick, power of justice, a helicarrier, spider tracer, heroic intuition, and for justice. And I think we'll keep these 3 and pitch those to start with. All right. Webbed up, enhanced spider sense, and Jessica Jones. So we've got some decisions to make there. So we are ready to get started. Well, since we've got our living legend ability in the works, we'll go ahead and put Agent 13 in for 1 less. After she enters play, we remove 2 threat from a scheme. So we'll take this down to 4. And then go ahead and thwart for 2. Flip on over. Use Fearless Determination. Gives him +1 thwart till the end of the phase, and we get to draw a card. Finding Hercules. The best thing to do is to thwart for 3, but we will take it off of here. And by getting rid of that, we'll take 10 hit points off of KLAW, so down to 36. Then we'll have Hercules bring our shield to us, giving us +1 defense and 1 retaliate. Discard to ready and attack to get rid of the tough status. And hold on to our shield block. We'll go ahead and bring in Jessica Jones, using this for 2 and his free resource for the 3rd one. She gets +1 thwart for each side scheme in play, so she's got a thwart of 2 for now. So we'll go ahead and, well, let's go ahead and flip over. I think we're going to go ahead and deal with this card. Have her attack for 2 on him, and then Spider-Man attack for an additional 2 to get rid of the armored guard. Then we're going to do a swinging web kick. Hero action, deal 8 damage to an enemy using these 3 resources. So down to 28. And that's our hero action. So all in all, that doesn't seem bad until shortly. So for Cap, we're going to keep her shield block, drawing 4 more cards. Getting another shield block. Combat training, the power of aggression, and a heroic strike. Spider-Man, he will get 5 cards. Finding Aunt May, a backflip, endurance, surveillance team, and a swinging web kick. Start of the villain phase, we get 2 threat on the main scheme. KLAW will attack over here. Base 1 plus 2 cards, so 2 damage coming our way. And I don't feel like wasting a shield block on that. So I'm just going to take it. Down to 9. Retaliate for 1. KLAW initiates an attack on Spider-Man. So we get to draw a card into Nick Fury. He'll make his attack. Base 1. So 5 damage coming Spider-Man's way. He will backflip out of that. So when he would take any amount of damage from an attack, prevent all of that damage. And now's where the game gets different. Normal circumstances, 1 encounter card each. Heroic level 3, we get 3 more each. And this is where it goes bad. So Cap first. Villain attacks you. All right, so Base 1. If this activation deals damage to you, exhaust a hero. So we've got 4 damage coming in. That seems like a shield block. So when you would take any amount of damage, exhaust your shield and prevent all of that damage. So that's 1 down. Then we've got a man out of time. So we may flip to our alter ego form and then choose to either exhaust him, to remove this from the game, or discard half our cards in our hand rounded down. Discard this obligation. We will flip over and deal with being out of time. Then the villain is scheming, so base 2. So we're going up to 4 on the main scheme. And lastly, the Doomsday Chair. When revealed, if MODOK is not in play, search the encounter deck and discard pile for MODOK and put him into play engage with you, then shuffle the encounter deck. This gets 8 threat on it and gives us acceleration. I don't think we've seen MODOK yet. Okay, must have. Going through the deck pretty quickly here. Hey, we didn't find MODOK. That means one thing. We're about to see him somewhere else. So that was everything for Captain America on the Spider-Man. KLAW's Vengeance. We're in hero mode. KLAW attacks you. If this attack deals damage, place 1 threat on the main scheme. So KLAW initiates the attack. We draw a card. Agent 13 should have some damage on her. Jessica Jones will defend. So we're getting 5 damage coming her way. Then KLAW will scheme for 2. So we're up to 6. And here's MODOK. Scheme of 2, attack of 2, retaliate of 2, and 8 health. And then place 4 threat on each side scheme. If there are no side schemes in play, discard cards from the top of the encounter deck until a side scheme is discarded and reveal that side scheme. But we've got plenty of side schemes in play. So add 4 more to this one. And 4 more over here. And Spider-Man becomes first player. So while the swinging web kick seems good to deal 8 damage, Nick Fury, we can get 6 damage out of him and defend with him later. So for 4 resources, we'll have him come in. But instead of doing 4 damage, I'm tempted to take 3 cards. No, we got to keep the press on. 4 damage, down to 23. Then we'll have him attack for 2 to help Spider-Man out to get rid of this weapons runner. And then swing for another 2 to get rid of this weapons runner. Eventually, we might need to take threat off the main scheme, so we'll have her take 2 off a defense network. Then flip over and do a heroic strike with Captain America. We'll be paying a physical resource, so deal 6 damage to an enemy and stun that enemy. So down to 17. And stunned. We're going to keep Aunt May and draw 4 more cards. Getting followed, swinging web kick, Surveillance Team and Energy. And then 5 cards for Cap. Getting an Asgard weapon, shield toss, power of aggression, uppercut, and combat training. Start of the villain phase, we're going to get 3. So up to 9. First attack on Spider-Man. We're out of that because of stunned. Then he'll attack Captain America. Nick will jump in the way. So 3 damage coming in. And we'll start dealing out some encounter cards. Deck herself. Get an acceleration token and do some shuffling. So we'll see how bad this goes. So 3 more each. Spider-Man goes first, so caught off guard. Discard an upgrade or support you control. Don't have any. If no cards were discarded this way, this card gains Surge. So drawing another one, Sound Manipulation. Take 2 damage, Claw heals 2. So down to 8. And up to 19. Next, we're getting an Armored Guard. Then Claw's Vengeance. Claw attacks you. If this attack deals damage, place a threat on the main scheme. We'll go ahead and have Agent 13 jump in front of that one. So 2 damage coming in. And we get another Armored Guard. Then on to Captain America's. Sound Manipulation. Take 2 damage. Claw heals 2, so up to 21. Then attach the Claw, get some solid sound body. He gains Retaliate 1. We can spend one of the 3 resources to discard that card. Then we'll get a Sonic Boom. We either spend one of each resource or exhaust each character we control. Well, we only have 1 character, so I feel like that's worth it. Then we're under fire. So Surge. Basically, we're getting 2 more encounter cards. So the first one, Claw is going to get +1 attack. And after he attacks and damages a character, we stun that character. And we get a Weapons Runner with Surge. Into another Surge, exhaust our identity. Into the villain and each minion engaged with you attacks you. All right. So the attack is initiated. Spider-Man will defend for me. So base 2. So 3 damage coming in, which is his defense, so no damage taken. And I went through so many cards, I feel like I've got 1 more to go. Yep. Legal Arms Factory. Place an additional threat here per player, so that gets us another encounter card. So 5 threat on that one. And we made it through another round. Well, we're going to try Shield Toss. So as a hero action, discard X cards from your hand. We'll discard 3 cards. Return our shield from play to our hand. Deal 4 damage to X enemies. First one, we'll go on an Armored Guard to get rid of toughness. And that's on Spider-Man. We'll put 2 to get rid of the Weapons Runner. And 4 to take him back down to 17 again. And he will retaliate, taking us down to 6. Then we'll put our shield back in play. And I think it's time to flip him over. And for Spider-Man, we're going to do a swinging web kick for 8 damage. Fortunately, he's got 2 guards on him, so we're just kick MODOK out of the way, and since he's not surviving this, the retaliate does not go off. Then we'll bring Aunt May in play for 1 and call it a turn. So drawing 6 cards over here. Finding our apartment, Super Soldier Serum, Tigra, Fearless Determination, Genius, and the Hulk. And Spider-Man will get 5 cards. Daredevil under surveillance, endurance, surveillance team, and strength. And without any allies to protect us, I feel bad for Spider-Man. So first, we're getting 1, 2, 3, 4. Which takes us up to 13. So discard cards from the counter deck until a minion is discarded. Put that minion into play engaged with the first player. All right. We found a weapons runner. And finished her deck off. All right, so threshold of 8. The stage is completed. The players lose the game. So the villain is going to scheme here. A base 2. So 2 coming in on the main scheme. Along with the weapons runner, so we'll get 3 there. And we went through the deck, so we get another acceleration token and shuffle. Then attacking on Spider-Man. So we'll get a card. And then we are going to defend. So base 2. So 3 damage coming our way, which we defended against. So no damage means nothing else happens. Then we'll take 1 each from these guys, so down to 6. Then encounter cards. So our normal ones, +1. And then 3 more each. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep. All right. This is probably where the game ends. All right. Man out of time. Exhaust. This gains surge. We attach it to someone that has the most health. And draw another card into the Doomsday Chair, which is going to go find MODOK and put 8 threat on that. So MODOK is back. Wasn't going for very long. So Shadows of the Past. Going to find Steve's nemesis here. Just going to be Baron Zemo. 1 scheme, 3 attack, quick strike, which means he'll engage once he engages, he attacks, but we're not in hero form. Then we put in the hit squad. So it's getting 6 threat on it. In player order, each player discards the top card of the encounter deck and takes 1 damage for each boost icon discarded this way. So for him, nothing. For Spider-Man, taking 1. And we're running out of room over there. Then these 3 cards get shuffled into our encounter deck. Then we get a Sonic Boom. Either spend those resources or exhaust each character we control. We're good with that. And Sound Manipulation. We're in alter ego form. Claw heals 4 damage. So back up to 21. And on to Spider-Man. First, we're adding 4 threat to each side scheme. Don't think this matters anymore, but that goes up to 10. This Doomsday Chair is at 12, so it's going to 16. This is going up to 9. This is going up to 12. And that one goes up to 10. Master plan. Then we get a weapons runner with Surge. The Immortal Claw, awesome. So I get 6 on it. And Claw goes up to 31. Then Claw's Vengeance. We're in hero mode. Claw attacks you. If this attack deals damage, place 1 threat on the main scheme. So initiates the attack. We draw into a web shooter. No one to protect him, so he's taking all this. So 1, 2, 3, 4 damage coming in. He's still alive. I did do that right. 1, 2, 3, 4 damage. Yep. Replacing a threat on the main scheme, and Spider-Man is stunned. And last one, a Sonic Boom. Hey, we're already exhausted, so joke's on Claw. All right, one more round. So we are going to bring in Daredevil for 4. And his tax is after he thwarts, deal 1 damage to an enemy. So we will thwart on the Immortal Claw for 2. And do a damage to get rid of the toughness there. Then, because we want to prolong this a little longer, we're going to put in Under Surveillance, attached to the main scheme to increase its threat value by 4. So now it goes to 20 instead of 16. Spider-Man is going to flip over because he doesn't have much choice. And Aunt May is going to heal him for 4. So he is up to 5 health. Feeling good about life. So over on this end of the world, we're going to put in the Super Soldier Serum. We can exhaust this to generate a physical resource using Genius for that. We're going to go ahead and use that to have Steve check out his apartment. So as an alter ego action, we can draw a card and heal a damage from Steve. So drawing a Relentless Assault, and he goes up to 7 health. Then we'll have him flip over. Actually, no, not flipping over just yet. We're going to bring in Tigra for 1 less because of his ability. So 2 resources. After she attacks and defeats a minion, we'll heal 1 damage from her. Then we will flip over, give Cap +1 thwart, and draw a card. Getting Valkyrie. Then we will discard that to ready Cap and have him thwart for 3. Then have Tigra thwart for 1. to get rid of the Immortal Claw to remove 10 hit points. So down to 21 again. And now see what kind of nastiness happens. So 6 cards over here. So Genius, followed, backflip, web shooter, enhanced spider sense. Of course, we're in alter ego form and under surveillance. And for Cap, getting 5 cards. 2 heroic strikes, a Nick Fury, energy, and relentless assault. So now we start with threat. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we're going up to 11 on that. Claw is scheming over here for a base of 2. Up to 13. Plus another 1 for all those guys. Then Claw is attacking Captain America. Daredevil will jump in the way. So base 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I fear this is where Cap gets in trouble. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 damage coming in. He'll go down to 1. He retaliates against each of those. We are getting 1, 2, 3, and 3 more. Get another token there. All right, get to hide your soldier, guard, when defeated, dealing damage, deal the engaged player an encounter card. Discard an upgrade or support you control, so long it may. Exhaustion, let me just make sure. I do have an enhanced spider sense. I think there's, oh, doesn't matter, I'm in this form, so we're going to exhaust our identity and surge. Exhaust our character, already done. Gain surge. Man out of time. And Shadow of the Past. Vulture gets to come and play. It's got quick strike, but we are in alter ego form, so no attack there. Highway robbery. When revealed, each player places a random card from their hand face down here. And when defeated, we'll get those cards back. And it's getting 6 threat on it. Yep, you can still see that. So for Spider-Man, and Steve Rogers. Then we get 3 more encounter cards to get shuffled in our stack. And on to Steve Rogers. Hail Hydra. Each Hydra minion engaged with a hero attacks that hero. Well, none of them are in hero mode. Each player who was not attacked this way searches the encounter deck and discard pile for a Hydra minion and puts it into play engage with them. So we're looking for Hydra minions. So just one, I think. And since he's first player, we'll give him the first one. Now, if we do look in the discard pile too, no minions in there. All right. Alter Ego form, he heals 4 damage, so up to 25. With sound manipulation, calls vengeance, discard a card at random from your hand. So we lose some energy. And lastly, 4 threat on each of the side schemes. So we're up to 18 on this one. Goes to 20. 4 more. Running out of tokens. And Cap is first player. If only I could do 25 damage, I'd feel awesome about myself. But we don't have enough. Well, I guess I can do 6 and a stun. I mean, we can't take threat off of that. Not to mention we're getting 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 put back on it. All right, this is our last strike, so we're going to do what we can. Steve's apartment. Draw a card and heal 1. Getting a shield toss. And we're up to 2 health. Oh, we're going out swinging. We have shield toss and 3 cards in hand, so discard 3 cards. We can deal 4 damage to 3 enemies. Claw will be one of those, going down to 21. It is an attack card, so retaliate. Baron Zemo will be another one, just to make us feel good. And the third one will be a Hydra Soldier. So deal the engage player and encounter card. Then we'll spin that to bring our shield back in. We'll have Tigra take care of this weapons runner, which will give her damage, but she also heals the damage. Let's see, for him, free resource, we'll put in a web shooter. Flip on over, and he's got absolutely nothing good to do. So just for fun, we're going to follow a side scheme. We're following the defense network. So if that ever goes away, we'll deal 4 damage to an enemy. We'll pay with it for that. Our actions are over. And so is this game just about. So we are getting 5 cards. Relentless Assault, Super Soldier Serum, Helicarrier, Mockingbird, and Strength. And Spider-Man, he'll go ahead and keep those and draw 3 more. For Justice, Mockingbird, and Followed. And now we start with 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 threat comes on here. And the stage is completed, and we have lost the game. Bloodied and beaten, and totally devastated. They will walk back to Avengers Mansion and think about their life. So heroic level 3, that's just brutal. Anyway, hope you enjoyed watching Cap and Spider-Man get wrecked. So please click on the like button below and be sure to subscribe. Thanks for watching.